Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Acting Like an Actor. I'm your host, Sophie Jordan Collins, and today we are joined by the lovely
Kaba Hues.
Are you rich?
Are you famous?
What have you been on?
I don't really recognize you, and neither does my mom.
Can you laugh?
Can you cry on command?
I mean, you said you were an actor, man.
What's your backup plan? Is it shattered?
Dude, I'm just acting like an actor.
So, Kaba, we're going to start off with our irritating icebreakers. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready. Okay. What old person things do you do, Kaba?
Old person things? Oh, wow.
How many, old
I have
person
trouble
things?
navigating social media and phones and technology. That's a big one because there's oftentimes like I'll just be on my phone and I'm like, how do I do that? How do I? And then I'm like, oh, this sounds like my grandma. So
No, that's a good one. Yeah, I felt that. I'm also directionally
I also
challenged.
love like soft foods like
Okay.
applesauce, puddings,
Yeah.
or like bananas and things like that. And I feel like that may be a little older.
Yeah, so if you ever lose your teeth, you'll be fine. You just live off
I'd
pudding
be like,
and
whoa,
applesauce.
this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah. What's the worst thing you did as a kid, Kaba? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I was kind of an asshole to my little sister growing up.
Okay.
And just doing like just random pranks and stuff on her. And like now being an adult, I'm like, oh, that was really mean of me. So
That's good. That leads into my third question, which is actually, what's the craziest prank you've ever done on someone?
my God. All right. It would be I made my little sister get on all fours, bark like a dog while I stood over her, and then I turned around and I farted in her face.
Although I will say, so she's been a little prankster, a funny girl, since the beginning, right? If you were 8 and already pulling stuff like that.
Something like that.
So Kaba, do you want to tell us a little bit about kind of your acting background, how you broke into the industry, how you fell into this crazy business of ours?
Yes. So I am born and raised in LA, and my parents actually got me into acting at the tender age of 3.
Okay.
Me and my older siblings, we were actors, child actors and actresses, and I did that for a couple years, and then I took a long break from early on in my childhood, like maybe like 3rd or 4th grade all the way up until like high school. And then in high school I was like, okay, I want to act. Like I really want to do this. It became my decision and not necessarily my parents' decision or them putting me in it. And then from high school to now, yeah, I've been acting. So
Yeah. Cool. So when you were a kid, what type of stuff were you doing? Was it theater or was it like film and TV, commercials, mom?
yeah, I was doing theater. I was
Okay.
doing film and TV. Definitely commercials. So I guess everything. I was doing it all. Yeah.
Do you remember loving it as a child, or did you kind of feel pushed into it by your parents?
I remember loving it, but it was only because of crafties and craft
Okay, no
service.
love.
That was like my thing.
Fair enough.
And like I would get interviewed, and they would ask, like, what's your favorite part about being on set? And I'd be like, the food, crafties.
The fruit snacks.
Yeah, but I did like
That's
it. It was very. I mean, it was chill for me. Like I wasn't, like a Disney star or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I know that a lot of pressure and stuff comes with that, and that wasn't it for me. Like it was fun. I
Yeah.
had fun. I remember having fun.
Good. Did you study theater in college or anything like that?
I did not.
Okay.
I actually I did it when I was a child, and then when I was talking about that gap that I took or that break that I took, I wasn't really into it. I just was like, I want to hang out and I want to just be,
Yeah.
a teen.
Right.
So,
Experiencing life,
yeah.
which is good. Yeah. Which makes you a better actor, life experience
Okay,
anyway. So it all comes tenfold. Okay, so you are a member of Groundlings, which for those of you who don't know, I have a little bit of background on Groundlings, if in case anybody doesn't know. So it's like an improv sketch comedy theater in LA basically, and anybody that goes to Groundlings, they're kind of looked at as like sketch comedy gods, especially if you're in Sunday Company. Like if somebody tells me they're in Sunday Company, I'm like, okay,
Yes.
well,
It's a very-
whatever, I'll just go sit in the corner. So it's like a very highly respected sketch comedy group in LA. Some of their alumni include people like Jimmy Fallon, Melissa McCarthy, Dax Shepard, Rita Wilson, Tyra Banks, Oscar Nunez. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of people go from Groundlings into like Saturday Night Live and things like that. So it's a really big thing. And Kaba, how long have you been attending Groundlings?
So I've been attending Groundlings since 2018.
Okay, dang, wow.
Yes. I started in 2018. And it's crazy because I didn't know kind of anything about it outside of like, these big names came out of there. Like, Will Ferrell, like, And yeah, so I kind of just jumped in and I auditioned and I got in. And from 2018 to 2019, I went through the core track of the program, like basic, intermediate, and advanced pretty quickly. And then the pandemic hit. And then I took a 3-year break from 2019 to 2023.
Oh, gotcha.
And so this year was my first year back in 3 years. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did they let you pick up right back from where you were?
They did.
Okay, that's
But I think
good.
it was only because of the pandemic. Because I know there's like a time limit you have from when you complete your last course to when you have to take the next course. But I think because of the pandemic and just literally like it was just craziness, they did let me pick back up where I left off, which I was very grateful for. So thank you, Groundlings.
Yeah. That's so cool. I forgot to mention this too, but obviously you can't just like join Groundlings and start in Sunday Company. There's like a process. You have to go through the like different levels to get there. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't literally everybody have to start in the beginner class? Like no matter who you are, how many credits you have.
Absolutely.
There's no way to like bypass it. So even if like a big actor wanted to join you gotta go beginner.
You'd have to audition. Like everyone would have to audition, and then you start basic. And then you go intermediate, and go in advanced, and then so on and so forth. But yes, everyone has to go through the program.
That's cool. So after advanced, then do you get to the like improv troupes, which is what you're doing now, and then is it Sunday Company?
So after advanced, you would do a writing lab, and that's when you start writing for the characters that you created in basic, intermediate, and advanced, and then you'll do your sketches and. Assuming you pass, then you'll complete. Then you'll go on to advanced writing lab, and then from advanced writing lab, you can be invited into Sunday Company. But it all depends on they have to invite you in. You can't just even though you complete advanced writing lab, it's not a guarantee like you'll be in Sunday. You have to be invited.
And do you want to tell our viewers what kind of your standing is with Sunday Company right now?
So I am on the last level before I can be eligible or invited into Sunday Company. So I am on the wait list for Advanced Writing Lab, which is the final level before I can officially call myself a groundling. So
yeah, that's really cool. So what is kind of the like setup for Groundlings in terms of like how often every week do you guys meet? Do you have to meet outside of class? What is all of that like?
So in the beginning levels, like basic, intermediate, advanced, it just depends. Like you could meet either once or twice a week. Usually, like all the classes that I've taken, I've kind of just picked what works for me, which is usually like a weekend class, like one morning in the weekend, like maybe a Saturday morning class. And a lot of them are like that. I found that like getting into writing lab, that changes a little bit. So like the classes would be more like 2 times a week. And you definitely have to meet outside of class because you need to write and do co-writes with your castmates and all of that. It's very,
So it's pretty time consuming.
Very time consuming.
Okay.
You have to dedicate a lot of your time and effort and everything into that. So
were you able to do other acting classes outside of Groundlings or not really? Is it pretty all consuming?
I could have.
Okay.
I didn't. I chose not to because money.
Yeah.
But
just to focus on like one thing can be easy too.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you find a lot of people just are doing Groundlings, or do most of them do other classes?
I would say most do other classes.
Oh, yeah?
Or they're in other troupes or
Okay, gotcha.
sketch, groups and things like that. But for me personally, I felt that I needed to just focus on Groundlings, especially like this year because I took that break. And so I honestly, like, before I signed up for my writing class or my writing lab, I was like freaking out, like, oh, it's been so much time has passed, and like I haven't improvised in so long. I haven't written anything in so long. Like, it's just and I probably should have, like, within that 3-month or 3-year gap that I took, but I did not. And so, yeah, it's kind of just, a leap of faith, and you have to just get out there and be brave and,
go all in on
and
it.
do it.
Mm-hmm. Does Groundlings focus on sketch and improv? Is it one more so than the other?
I would say, for me, I find it's equal. I think it's improv and sketch, very equal.
Okay.
But like in sketch, you use all the things that you learned in your improv classes, or like in your improvisational classes. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it might be more improv than it is sketch.
Okay.
But
it seems to me like just hearing the levels, like it almost starts off more improv, and then as you get into the troupes, then you're doing more sketches when you perform. Because those like performances that you have up on YouTube, were those written out sketches, or were you guys improving?
So those were sketches. Written sketches.
And I was like, these are too perfect for improving. That would be like next level.
Obviously there's always going to be improv in anything, and anything I do, for sure. Like, there's always improv.
Yeah.
Like, because you get on stage and you kind of forget things that you wrote, or like things that you rehearsed, and then you're like, oh, well, I have these skills that I learned in improv to then apply them here. Like, now that I forgot my lines that I wrote and spent so much time on, it's like, well, I am also an improviser, so blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Have you always been drawn to the like comedic world, or do you enjoy both?
No, which is interesting because I grew up, like, I was very quirky and like silly, very goofy, all of that. But I just wanted to be an actress. Like, I just want to act, like, but I wanted to be in the theater.
Oh, right.
And then I don't know. I guess, like, one day, I don't know, I was just thinking, and like I can use this skill that I have of just being funny, naturally funny, and I can also do that while acting. So why not go for it? But it was also very, like, scary for me to go for it because, I mean, comedy is like, it's very scary.
It's so vulnerable.
So
scary.
You're so vulnerable.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, for me, like, the best comedy is, more conversational or authentic and genuine. Like, it should feel relatable and, just like you're not really trying to be funny.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me, like, even sketch, because, like, I always say that I'll never do stand-up, which I feel like maybe I will at some point, but that's neither here nor there.
You would be good at stand-up.
Oh my God. Neither here nor there. But even with sketch, like, writing my comedy, I always am like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, I'm writing funny? That's, I don't know. It just has never been anything that I thought that I would be doing.
No, especially because it comes so natural to you. It probably feels weird to, like, almost try to be funny when it's something that you naturally are.
Exactly.
Which I will attest. Kaba and I work together, and she is always throwing out one-liners that have everybody, like, dying pretty consistently. Do you feel like Groundlings and improv has helped other areas of your life as well? Like, has it made you more comfortable? Even in drama, I feel like it's good to be able to be quick on your feet.
Exactly. So it has helped so much with other areas of my life because, I mean, I'm always learning and growing. But I have social anxiety. Like, to this day I have it. But improv has helped so much with that. Like, I'm much more confident in, like, speaking or having conversations, even, like, right now. Like, and I didn't always have this. Like, I was, I don't know, just more to myself, which I still revert back to those, ways that that I am. But improv has definitely helped me be more confident in those areas of just public speaking or conversations and just being social, period. So
Yeah, I was reading online that a lot of people will take the beginner Groundlings course that aren't even actors. Like, they'll take it just solely to, like, get more comfortable being out there, which is kind of cool. Even as an actor, to, like, act with other people that are not actors, I feel like is kind of fun to, like, see that.
It's fun. And, like, it's, you know, it's not, like, it's no pressure. And it's really just, you're just using your imagination, which is what, you know, we all did as children or kids. And then we kind of lose that the older we get. But it's fun, or it's nice to be able to just go into a class and just literally play. Like, we're literally just playing. Like, oh, I'm thinking of this, and here I'm not. Like, it's very cool.
I know, it's so funny. We spend our childhood, like, wanting to be adults. And then when we're adults, we're like, no, but the magic is when I was a child.
Exactly.
Especially as actors. It's kind of funny. We spend all of our adulthood working through our childhood trauma and trying to, like, get back to that place. Which is so funny. Okay, I'm curious if anybody maybe wants to improve their, like, improv and sketch skills, but maybe they can't afford to do, like, Groundlings or something like that. Do you have any practical maybe exercises or things that you do on your own that you feel like could help people to get better with those skills?
Yeah. I do this thing where, like, if I'm an observer, so, like, I'm always just looking around, like, oh, and then I would, like, jot notes down if I feel like it. But I have this thing where, like, I guess people watch. Yeah. And I'll watch people, and then I'll come up with these things in my head of, like, you know, how their life is, or, like, what they're doing after having this coffee at Starbucks or whatever. And that really helps, because then, like, you know, you're thinking about it. You're also using those improv skills and, like, just creating characters or, you know, different scenarios. And, so that it really is beneficial to.
Yeah, that's such a cool exercise. And what a fun little thing too, because anybody can do that anywhere, and that doesn't require much.
You don't have to be like, you don't have to, like, say it, vocalize it. Like, you just keep it up in here, and you just go crazy. Like, I literally would just sit and watch people and, like, just crack myself up on the inside.
Make sure you jot those ideas down so you remember them.
Exactly.
But, that's a good, like, writing hack as well, because who knows, that could spark an idea that could turn into a script or something like that.
Let me tell you, like, my notes in my phone, it's just random stuff. It's, like, so random, like, the most random things, but I will remember it, like, if it's, I use the smallest little thing that I remember and jot it down, and then once I go back into my notes, I'll remember, like, oh yeah, this happened, and then this happened, and I'll write my scripts. So almost all of my scripts are just, like, real life things that I've, you know, I'm sorry, my phone is ringing.
Okay, I was excited.
Yeah, I want to, like, shut it off or put it on Do Not Disturb. But almost all of my scripts in comedy is just things that I've seen or experience that I've had, and, you know, an exaggerated version of it, but they're always
based off of life,
based off of real life, or like, you know.
Yeah, I think that takes the pressure off of it too, when you're trying to come up with a script to use things from your life, as opposed to, like, no, I need to come up with something so original. And it's like, because also nothing is original, low-key, but you're right, just take that inspiration from life and over exaggerate it, and who knows. So what are some things that have come from your life out of Groundlings? Like, what types of opportunities has it brought to you, or what do you see it kind of bring to others? Like, what are the benefits of being a part of it?
Well, I mean, hopefully I will be in Sunday, and then the opportunities will just come left and right. But from, like, just even doing, like, advanced shows and, you know, my writing lab and stuff, people have seen me and have offered me jobers, or like, I'm now in I would say it's the sketch group that I'm in now, and we had a show, and now we're filming now, and
that's outside of Groundlings.
Outside of Groundlings.
Cool!
But
wow.
Someone found me at a student show.
So cool.
And so I've been having fun with that.
Yeah.
And like, I know that this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, this year was, like, the first year that I felt like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And you've only been in there less than a year. Okay, and also, I don't want to embarrass you, Kaba, but literally, we were working a shift together like 2 months ago, and this girl comes up and she was like, oh my gosh, like, Kaba. And I thought, like, maybe she knew Kaba, so I was like, whatever, because people are always seeing people they know. This girl didn't know Kaba. She was like a fan. She was like, oh my gosh, I saw your show like last weekend and you were so funny, and it was like the cutest thing, and Kaba was giving her a hug and stuff too. But like, that's the power of Groundlings and like the shows you guys do, is like people watch them. Not just industry people either. Like people watch them and people enjoy them. You really are kind of in people's eyes when you're in one of those groups, which is so cool. Yeah.
And especially like live shows were very important this year because like the strike, and so people didn't have entertainment. They couldn't, like, I mean, it wasn't a lot of sitting just in front of the TV. Like people had to go out and enjoy live shows.
And we're excited to do that again because it hasn't been a thing.
Exactly. So I like to contribute in any way that I can. So
yeah. Do you like performing for live audiences as well? There's something so fulfilling about that, I feel like.
Yes. I love performing in front of a live audience. Dare I say I prefer it over like you know, being on a screen or filming. Dare I say that? I don't know. But it's very fulfilling, and I don't know, it's warm, and like something about receiving laughter off of like just, you know, and essentially just being yourself, because that's what I do. Like my comedy is just literally like all my characters are versions of myself. They're just exaggerated, like we were saying. But yeah, something about receiving laughter from that is just like yum.
I think there's a part inside all of us, which is why we like acting, of wanting that feedback from people. Like we love storytelling, we love making people feel things, and so when you get that immediate feedback, there is something so fulfilling about that. I know I used to do a lot of theater, and I miss it so much because of that live. You're in it with the audience, and they're there with you.
Like we're here, like
that's so fun.
And it's funny too because like I prefer a bigger audience than a more intimate one. And I don't know, like I'm weird because, you know, my social anxiety and all the things, but like I only find myself getting nervous when it's a smaller,
so interesting
group of people or audience. But like if I can perform in front of 50,000 people, and I'll be like
that's so funny. It like sets something inside of you where it's
and I think it's also because, like, you know, I can't really see everyone's face.
That's true too, right?
Like,
less vulnerable.
I'm not gonna meet all 50,000 people, but but I like Groundlings because it's a challenge for me too, because it is more of an intimate theater. It's only I want to say it's 120 seats, if that. Maybe it's like 99, but that's intimate. Like and you're right there. The stage is right there. But yeah, I have been enjoying it, and it's a challenge for me, and I'm getting over it and overcoming, and so
So obviously we're in a crazy industry. What are some things you do, Kaba, to take care of yourself?
I really enjoy my me time. I'm an introvert, so I love just, you know, being able to just relax. I try not to work too hard. I give myself so much grace, and I didn't used to. Like I always would be so hard on myself. You need to be doing this. You need to be in this class, and you know. But yeah, give yourself so much grace.
Especially as creatives. Like, I was just listening to a talk between Natalie Portman, one of the actors on Access, and she was saying, like, you need time to just stare at a blank wall, like as a creative, and like let your mind roam. And that's so true, because as like actors and performers, our one job is to like be present in that moment, and we're so stimulated all the time that you're right, it is important to just like do nothing.
To do nothing. And we as actors and creators, like, we just always feel like we have to be doing something, or like, you know, or we're wasting time. And it's like,
what even is time? It's a human construct. I know.
Like, what is time? But yeah, like, for me, I really enjoy just existing. You know,
not forcing yourself to run around and do all these things.
Exactly.
But just,
exactly. And then also, like, in the industry, like, get comfortable like saying no to things, because we say and like I was saying yes to like reality, and which is, there's nothing wrong with reality. I love reality, but it's easy to become stuck in one genre.
It is.
And for me, like I don't want to be stuck in one genre. Like I like to be versatile. I like to be able to do this, that, and the third. But yeah, saying no to certain things if it's not, you know, you even have that small bit of like doubt or uncomfortability or whatever.
If it's not a hell yes, turn it down.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not a hell yes.
If it's like a maybe, turn it down.
It's like, know that it'll be okay, and like, you know, more things will come, and what is for you will be for you, I think.
Yeah, what's meant for you will find you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, I love that. Can you kind of, I know this is a really annoying question, especially for actors, but what does like a day in the life of Kaba look like? Because I know that we don't have a lot of like consistency as creatives, so I'm curious, how do you like structure your day to force yourself to sit down and write the sketches, to practice? Just a general.
So I usually take my time as far as like writing and being creative. It's always like at night. I'm a night owl.
Okay.
And I find that I'm most creative like when the sun is gone and I'm just in my house. Sometimes in my bed, or like, you know, after dinner. Like I don't know. And then I can write for like hours and hours and hours on end. And then after that, then I'll reward myself with like some ratchet reality TV.
Love it. No, that's good. And that's good that you know that about yourself too, because sometimes I think that we'll be like, okay, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write from like 12 to 4 p.m. And I feel like writing and creativity is one of those things you kind of just have to like go with the flow.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Like you can't force
right.
yourself. Yeah, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And it's a waste of time to try to force it.
It'll translate. We'll see that it'll appear forced.
It.
Like we'll know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just have to let it come as it does. And but like that's the thing, like once it does come, it's usually you'll just keep going and going and going, and then you're like, oh wow, I've been writing for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Love that.
Yeah, it's usually at night, and whenever it just feels right, I'll start.
Yeah, that's good. Run with it. Last question before our Fast Frisky 5. Do you have any advice for just actors on how they can just enjoy this craft? Because it can be difficult sometimes. So do you have anything to tell them?
Trust yourself, and like just become more in tune with who you are and understand you. Yeah, that's pretty much what I could say. Yeah, just trust your gut, trust yourself.
Yeah. I mean, as performers, you are kind of your craft. So yeah, the more you know yourself, the more you can come to your craft.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have one more question following that. What is some advice to Kaba? If you could give yourself some advice, maybe at like the start of your acting career or something like that, what would you tell her?
What would I tell myself
back in those days when you were being so hard on yourself about and like stressing yourself out? Because we all go through phases like that.
I guess just to relax and like, you know, breathe and take your time and allow yourself time to, again, do nothing, chill, learn you, and
trust the process.
Yeah, just trust the process and just chill out.
Yeah, I think too, when you like hold tightly to something too, it oftentimes runs away from you. So it's like you'll find that success and that fulfillment when you just let it go. And as actors and creatives, we can cling so tightly to the outcome sometimes, but you just gotta let it go. It's no way to live. So love that. Okay, time for Fast Frisky 5. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, they're 5 rapid fire questions that require a lot of thought, so it's contradictory. Favorite quote?
Oh my God, Sophie. I don't know. My favorite quote?
Is there one that just really sits with you?
I'm drawing blanks on all quotes of life.
She's
No.
probably my
We'll
8th guest
come-
this has happened to. Maybe I should
No
switch
way.
this question up. No, literally every time people are
I'm
sometimes-
like, I know quotes, but I just nothing
you're
is
on the
coming.
spot, I
Nothing
know.
is coming to mind. Let me think. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
That's one that also gets me like thinking too.
It's just
Yeah. It's with
It's a quote that it gets the mind going.
Sit with that.
That's Franklin D. Roosevelt.
What is something in LA not a lot of people know about? Like a place or a restaurant. You're born and raised here. You should have some good
I
ones.
am. I feel like a lot of people don't know about some hiking spots.
Okay.
Like in Altadena, which is, my neck of the woods. There's waterfalls.
Oh, cool. didn't know that.
Little Ethiopia. Let me shout that out. What else? A lot of different food places and things like that. Yeah. Oh, some thrift stores and things like that.
Can you name one? If you can't think of one, it's okay.
It's okay.
Just know they're good ones.
They're
We're not
good
telling
ones,
you
and
what
they're in
ones, just
Highland Park.
trust her. Okay.
All right.
I love that. The waterfalls in Altadena. I'm gonna have to look into that.
No, yeah,
If
there's
you're running
waterfalls in Altadena.
That's cool. You might need your phone for this one too. Favorite line in a movie? Something that comes up for you.
Favorite line in a movie? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, baby. That's a Goofy movie.
Yo, Stacy! Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me, baby!
That's just my favorite movie, so.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute. Pickles, yeah or nay?
Yay.
Okay, love. And then our last question: what is a recent obsession of yours?
Ooh, a recent obsession of mine. Ooh, it was about to get dark. Let me not.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna do that because, yeah. A recent obsession of mine. What have I been into? I've been. Oh, bartending. Hello.
Oh, okay, Kaba.
Hello. I've been studying whiskey.
All right.
Or trying to. Yeah.
Love it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to leave our acting like an actor viewers with? Any final words of wisdom?
No, that's it for me. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.